This is a learning community. That's one of the things I love about the Christian Stewardship Network, is that the people that come are very open-handed and willing to share all the things that they've learned, the mistakes that they've made.
It's a group of people that care very passionately about generosity, stewardship, and all things giving.
So this conference really starts with the Impact Workshop, which is one of my absolute favorite things. It's essentially teaching people who are super passionate about bringing stewardship into their churches how to physically flesh that out in a way that makes sense. What are your first steps? How do you create a launch team? What different things do you do to get people in your church passionate about this? And how do you bring that to your senior leaders as well? I love that we start with worship. I think it puts us in a wonderful place, and we get to hear stories from people's lives being transformed who really apply stewardship in their life. And then each of the breakout sessions is basically a toolkit, I think, a toolkit for giving you resources in a specific area for doing something specific in stewardship ministry in your church.
It's just a great place to come because we get to encourage each other to continue on in this work, which sometimes can be, if honest, an uphill battle. It's not something that's often spoken about in the local church context, and so I'm so grateful that we come here and we engage, we encourage and build one another up in love, and then we go out and share that wisdom and knowledge with others. It's so important right now. And I believe that hopefully, through an understanding of stewardship, we will lead a movement of generosity across the capital C Church.
It's worth every penny. It's worth every minute, every second of time.
It equips us so that we can have tools and resources so that we can go back to our churches and be able to equip our church leaders and then also the members of our church so that they can be successful in their walk also.
And so for me, it's an incredible community as a sounding board to share. These are some things that we're considering doing, and they're able to very quickly speak into that in a very gracious and humble way.
The Christian Stewardship Network has people that have a lot of experience. So these are people that have come in and started stewardship and generosity ministries from the ground up and have 20, 30, 40 years of experience. And so they're able to share, hey, here's what worked. Here's what didn't work. This is what might work for you. This worked in our church culture.
I absolutely think that investing your time and your money to come to the CSN Forum is incredibly worthwhile. Not only will you learn some incredible new things about stewardship ministry, but I think almost more importantly, you get some dedicated time and space to consider, what is God doing at my church, in my ministry? How can I take some of these best practices and apply those to the ministry that God has called me to?
This conference is all about being poured into and pouring out. I love that when I come here, I get to learn from stewardship leaders and pastors and volunteers and get to hear about what are they doing in their churches. How can we better serve the local church in our community even? How can we connect with each other and connect churches and people and ministries and organizations? And so I think that that's important, and that's part of the work that I do, is to help the people that are at this conference bring what they're learning and what they're also pouring out and the wisdom and knowledge that they have to other churches who really want to learn these principles and foundations.